Hey, what's up everyone? This is Joe. Welcome to another how-to origami tutorial, and in this video I'm going to teach you guys how to make the origami tulip. So for this tutorial, you're going to need not one, but two pieces of paper. One of these is going to be the actual tulip flower. The other one is going to be the stem. And I'll show you how to connect those at the end of the video. So we're going to start with the stem, since that's the less exciting part of this video. What we're going to do is we're going to start by creating a diagonal crease, and you can do that by folding from opposite corner to opposite corner. And even though this is a more simple model, it's always best to use your fingernail or something a little bit harder than just your finger to press down on the creases to make sure that they're very strong and precise. Alright, once you've done that, go ahead and open it up. Now what we're going to do, let me zoom out a little bit actually. What we're going to do now is we're going to fold this edge into that crease we just made. Alright? And take your time to make sure your edges and creases are lined up really well before you fold. Alright, and do it once more with this edge. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to fold this edge into the center crease. And you've guessed it, also this edge to the center crease. Alright, and we're going to have to do one more round of that. So we're going to fold this edge and this edge into the center crease. Notice I did a 180-degree rotation of the paper. It's not essential to the steps, but that's what I did, and I think it ends up making it look a little bit better. Alright, and once you're done, you should have something that looks like this. What we're going to do now is we're going to flip it over, and I'm going to fold this point up to this point. See, this is the more narrow point, and this is the broader point. I'm going to fold this point up, alright? And there's no precise location to fold it up to. I guess I'll do kind of 2/3 and 1/3, kind of. It doesn't really matter. Maybe you could also think about it so that there's just little triangles showing at the bottom. This is really not a precise fold, as long as the only thing that does need to be precise is that the center crease is lined up as you're doing it, right? So the center crease here is lined up right on top of the center crease of the flat below it, okay? Once you've done that, and you've just kind of folded to around that much, go ahead and solidify that crease. Okay, and then we are going to do a mountain fold here, all right? And a mountain fold is one that will cause the crease to come up towards you, right? So I'm just going to take this and pinch it upwards like that and solidify that crease. Excellent. So now we're left with this right here. What we're going to do now is I'm going to with my left hand, or I guess it depends which hands you prefer, but one hand is going to hold the longer narrow stem that's sticking out, and one hand's going to hold this the more broad leaf part, okay? And you're just going to pull away. And again, there's no precise distance here. You're just going to pull away till it looks kind of like that. And then I'm going to pinch down at the base to flatten it out, all right? And it should compress down nicely. Okay, once you've done that, you should have your tulip stem, and it should be able to stand on its own if you need it to. I don't know if it'll be able to do that with a flower on it, but this is it. All right, so now we're gonna bring in our red sheet of paper. Of course, you can choose any color you want, but I chose red. Don't really know why, but I did. So for this, we actually only need 1/4 of this size. The reason being that if we use the same size of paper for the stem as we did the flower is going to come out a lot bigger than we need it. So I actually tend to divide it into 4ths. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. And I actually have a video on my channel about how to cut paper essentially, but only by folding it and tearing it, which is actually more accurate than using scissors. And that's what I'm about to do right now. So I'm going to fold, reverse, and then I'm going to tear it. All right, so we've basically cut our paper in half, and I'm going to put that one aside for future projects, and then we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take this, fold it in half, reverse it, and tear. All right, and again, I'll set that piece aside for future projects. And what we're left with now is this piece right here, this little 1/4 of the square. So we're gonna start by doing the bird base. If you know that, go ahead and jump right to it. If you don't, go ahead and follow along with what I'm about to show you. So we're going to start by folding in all 4 of the primary folds. So that means corner to corner, corner to corner, edge to edge, edge to edge. So fold corner to corner like this. All right, and then unfold, and then corner to corner the other way. Like that, and unfold. Now we're going to fold edge to edge. Just like that. And then last, we're going to fold this edge to that edge. And you'll notice if you did this accurately enough, that all 4 folds will cross at exactly the same point. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to make one of the diagonals into a mountain fold, like so. Okay? And if I press down in the middle, right about where that point is, it's going to cause it to kind of pop down. All right? So I have this mountain fold right here, and if I press in the middle, it's going to pop inwards like that. Then I can bring these points in and towards me, and it should all compress down into a nice bird base like that. I'll show you one more time slowly. Just like that, and then go ahead and finalize those creases. Okay? Now I'm going to take one of these layers, all right? So I'm going to hold it this way so that the open side is facing away from me, see that? And the closed side is facing towards me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first layer, this corner right here, and I'm going to fold it in so that it touches the center crease. But before I finalize that fold, I'm going to look at this edge that I'm going to create. I want it to be roughly parallel to the center crease, but sloping in slightly towards the open end, okay? So I'll show you what that looks like. This doesn't have to be super precise either. This is just kind of recommendations to get it to look as good as possible. So I folded it like that, okay? So folded the corner into that center line, and this is almost parallel but slightly sloped inwards relative to that center crease. Okay, once you've done that, you can replicate it by folding this corner and fold it right to that same spot. All right, and you can replicate it on the other side by flipping it over, and when you fold this side in, you simply match this edge to the edge underneath it. So position your fold so that it's right on top of it, just like that. And then the same thing on this side. And there you go. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a step that's going to make this shape a little bit stronger. So I'm going to unfold this edge, and I'm going to fold in this edge right here into the creases that we just made going along there. Alright, so I'm going to fold in like that, and then refold along that line. Okay, so this is just going to keep those larger folds smaller so they're less likely to get in the way of the shape. And I'm going to do the same on every fold that we just made, the last 4. Okay, and with the open side facing away from me again, this is what it should look like. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and open this up. So you'll see the open end should be pretty prone to opening up already. Basically, I'm going to stick a finger in there and I'm going to try and flatten out all 4 sides. And it should kind of just unfold on itself like that. Alright, so now if we look at it from this side, it kind of looks like this. Alright, so now for this step, we can bring the stem back in, alright, and you'll remember it's a lot bigger now because we reduced the size of this paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil, another sharp object, and I'm just going to poke a little hole in the bottom, right at that point where all the 4 lines cross. I'm just going to poke a little hole in the bottom, start small, and I'm going to take our sharper end of the tulip leaf, or the stem rather, and stab it through the tulip, alright? And with enough pressure, you should be able to get it to a point where the flower stays and sits nicely. So here's your origami tulip. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. Otherwise, have a very happy spring. Hope today's a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.